So it's me, Dale, the Data Says Fat Guy here. I'm just gonna go through numbers. I'm gonna spend another day, another video talking more so about my ups and downs over the past week. Just to know, it's been all over the place and I do way more now.
Yeah, so I'm up a little over 2.5 pounds over a week ago. So switching over to being very carb heavy, just giving myself the freedom to go with carbs. It's felt halfway great, the past week, but yeah, I'm not liking this whole gaining weight deal. Now, I don't think it's all fat. I think there's a bit of muscle being gained here too, but I'm not ready to completely quit on it yet. I'm going to give it one more week. I know you should really give something like this a diet change about 6 weeks to really try out, but I don't want to end back up at like 380, 390 something and have to work it back down from there. I know that part of this weight is from undigested food, quite a bit of it. See, well, I can't magically tell when I'm completely empty. I definitely know I still got quite a bit in me. So, yeah, I'm not blaming all of this on just the carbs. I didn't pick completely great food. I mean, honestly, had a hard week and I just went to food for comfort throughout the whole week. And I definitely had quite a few days where I hit 4,000 to 5,000 calories in a day. I'm honestly surprised that I don't weigh much more. See, since I hit 4 to 5 a day, that's me not keeping to the macros I was supposed to keep. So I'm pretty not giving the new diet a real chance. So that's my fault. Yep, and I didn't take my fasting glucose until much later in the day, unfortunately. And it's just, I know when I'm doing it later in the day and I haven't eaten, it's always going to look good. You see, I have a couple of the tests there where I was just checking things after eating throughout the week, but those aren't too significant. I didn't take enough tests. I didn't do the methodology right. But compared to last week, Friday, 118 resting, I mean, it's 19 points higher. But it is so many more hours earlier in the day. I mean, it's 5.5 hours earlier in the day. Pretty sure that I hit the lower number much sooner than I did today, even though I only did one test. And while the numbers for my blood pressure here are much better, what this is really telling me is that I'm doing it right now. Like, I'm not gaming the test or whatever, something that I ignored for most of the year that I shouldn't have. Or rather, earlier in the year, if you look at the videos then, you saw me changing chairs and locations and trying to get more comfortable. I didn't do that well enough. Now I know just how comfortable I'm allowed to get while I'm doing this, which is down there completely. So I thought that I would be cheating by just leaning my feet or whatever. I mean, I tried to do it straight, and I did that one today straight. I sat down at a height appropriate chair, had my arms leaning down properly, and I was surprised as hell. 117 over 76, completely unexpected to see. So, yeah. So my blood pressure shows that I'm doing okay, and that was just 2 minutes after sitting down, by the way. But it shows that I'm doing okay 2 minutes after sitting down, after walking around and grabbing food and stuff. Hadn't eaten yet. This is still in the fasted state as well. It's just, wow, okay. So maybe I'm beating myself up a bit too hard on some things here. My blood pressure's decent. So lastly here, we're just going to look at my measurements. And it's just, whenever I do this, a couple of things. I don't look at the older numbers. Rather, the older numbers are there on the screen, but I can't see whatever the current number is while I'm measuring because it's whatever the tape measure is sitting at. So I don't really know when things are higher or lower because I'm not memorizing them as I go. But that whole 30, 50, 40 on the left side there, that's just like, wow. Those are real numbers. Those are exact. I did not plan that. But hey, that's what happened today. And no, you're not seeing me on screen doing, the side-by-side in my underwear or some shorts because, I was just in the basement going to do it today. Tried to put the phone on a tripod, dropped it, bent down, picked it up, and that was such a frustrating day. I was just like, F this, I'm not going to do it. And I just walked and left out of the house and just went and took care of my business. The picture has there on me, it's just to be a bit more flavorful, but those I think were taken on the same day, probably within like minutes of each other. They're just there to make this look a little better. But overall, I mean, half of these, went up. So I got bigger in some places, that's all the red, got smaller in some places, that's all the green. And I think the only reason I did well this week is because the bulk of the core of what I ate was decent whole food that I cooked myself. And I exercise every day, every single day.
And once again, I do greatly appreciate your time, your patience for watching. God bless y'all. Take care. Have a great day. Bye bye, y'all.